Hi, Sue and Louise. We're going to learn a few vinyl things today. I am going to go ahead and play the intro and we'll get started. Thank you, Sue, for announcing in the groups. I appreciate it. Okay. Hey, Jamie. It's early Saturday morning. I don't know how many people we'll have today, but playback will be available once everybody starts coming in. Anybody that wants to follow along, you're going to need the template maker. We're going to be working off of that today. And that link is right there. It should work. Hey, Joan. And the person that does these templates, guys, if you'll notice down here on the bottom left of the screen, the little coffee cup, they are on Ko-fi as well. So they have tons of templates for your use on Template Maker, not just the truncated cone that we're going to be using today. So if you use their templates, send them a little something. You can do a one-time support on Ko-fi. So, get a lot of questions about how to put things on curved objects. Well, we know that if it is a solid mass like a circle or a large image, that we have to make it smaller or you're going to get wrinkles. There is really, truly, that I have found no other way around that. But we can fix our words where we cut them in design space and they go around these tapered cups, and we cut it straight and it doesn't look straight on the cup. It always looks crooked. The reason it looks crooked is because it's a cone-shaped tumbler or cup. It's not straight-sided. Anything that's straight-sided, and what I mean by that, if your top diameter of your cup is the same as the bottom diameter of your cup, it's straight, and you just need to cut your vinyl straight. It's going to go around and it's going to look straight. But on these cone cups, it doesn't. So while you guys are pulling up that link and opening that up, I'm going to go over to the overhead cam and show you what I mean. These are cone shaped. These are my beat up dollar cups that I do a lot of stuff with. So you're going to see some scratches, dents, dings, cracks, whatever. I use these cups for a lot of different stuff and peel them and reuse them. So you have what I mean by conical or truncated. You see that it tapers. It's different at the bottom and the top, whereas this coffee cup is the same. Top and bottom are identical. So if you're using that template and you try to put in the 3 inches across and the 3 inches across the bottom and the 3.75 in height, it's going to error on you because it's a square. It's not a cone. Okay, it becomes a square or a rectangle, whatever you want to call it. It's just not a cone. So you're just going to cut your vinyl straight for these. These you need the template. These you need the template. And this one is one of the Ozark Trail 20 ounce, and it is tapered, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But the top, got a cut rolling around here. The top of this one measures right at I'm going to say 3 3/8, 3.375. Whereas the bottom is 2.75. So we can use the template on that. This is a hog skinny. I don't remember what the ounce is. Maybe 20 ounce too. Just a different height. That matters. But at the top of it, it is coming across at 3 1/2. Close enough. And the bottom is coming in at 2 5/8. So again, when there's a difference between the top and the bottom of the cup, you really do need to use the truncated cone template, and it's got more than one use, and I'm going to explain that. I didn't bring one in here with me, but you guys probably have seen it already. If you haven't, then I'll find the video and you can watch that one. Let me go back over to our template maker. And I am going to do this in Chrome as well because I'm on a Mac and I want to make sure that Chrome users see where your download comes in at the bottom of the screen if it works for me. And then also your Mac users will have a guide as well. But when you open it up, it's going to default to millimeter. If you want to work in centimeter, millimeter, whatever you're comfortable with, you're just going to change those dimensions. And the good thing about this, guys, if you look down here, you see your paper size. Leave it on automatic fit page. I know that's opposite of what we tell you with your printers when you're doing print and cut. But what it's doing is going to fit the page to the drawing. Okay? It's different than fitting your drawing to the page. Excuse me. What that means is if you have a really large tall cup, it's going to stretch the paper that you're saving or the file that you're saving to fit in an area rather than shrinking it down, because we don't want to shrink it down. We need it to come in true to size. Okay? So leave that on automatic fit to draw or fit page. This is your glue angle, and this is, I don't know, glue. I think that was supposed to, I must have hit that. I think that's supposed to be on 25. No, it's 7. Doesn't really matter. But what that does, if you look up here in this preview panel, it gives you a glue edge. And what that does is if you're doing fabric cups, some of you guys have seen the fabric epoxy cups. You can cut this template to wrap around your epoxy cup and give you that 1/4 inch. You can glue it, put it on your cup, and then trim and pull that piece out like you do wallpaper. Or if you're putting paper around a cup for whatever reason, like, can anybody tell me what I'm talking about? Putting paper around your cup? Hi, Amanda. Anybody know what I mean? Maybe Starbucks comes to mind. Yeah, you get those coffee cup holders. So you can use them not only for paper, but you can use them for fabric. You can make your own leather or paper, whatever, because you get to control the height you want it to be, okay? And still fit your cup. So, and when you're doing those wraps, the coffee wraps, let me show you where you're going to measure your cup at. Let me pop back over here to the overhead cam. When you're doing your coffee wraps, if you want it to be in this area, you are going to need a tape measure because you can't measure the top of the cup and the bottom of the cup, okay? You're going to need your tape measure so that when you look at it, and it takes some playing, you can get it close, but I'm going to tell you, you need to cut a paper one and then taper it down from there and work it, and cut your paper one before you cut any fabric. Because it's hard for us to measure across the inside of the cup. So you can go around. This is how I do it. There may be an easier way, and I'm showing that it's 10 1/4 where I want the top of my wrap to be. And then where I want it to be at the bottom is 9 1/2. So, how do I figure that out? I wrap around the top, and I said it was 10 1/4. So I need to take 0.75 off of there because it's 11 at the top around. So basically I would divide that. It's really hard to explain how I do it. I divide that to like 1/4 inch. Take 1/4 inch off. So I would take that 3 inch diameter across the top, 3 1/2 inch, down to 3 1/4 is what I would take it down to. And then I would cut my paper one. And I would take the bottom down to, see if it's the same. It might be the same. It's the same there, so I wouldn't have to change the bottom, just the top diameter. And then I cut a piece of paper, scrap paper, and I wrap it around there, see that it fits. If it fits and I don't need any adjustment, then that's the one I go with. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Yes, the sleeves for heat and everything. So, good morning, Miss Sheila. So that's what you're going to have to do, because we can't I mean, if you've got a way of getting in there where you know it wants to be, I've done that before too. I've held my tape measure in there and got close, and when I bring it out, it's right there at 3 1/4. So that's how. I mean, I basically know I've done enough of them that I know that I need to take that and divide it in like thirds from where I want to be on my thing. So I don't have to go inside, but you can guesstimate, but you're still going to have to cut your paper and judge it for those. But you can use this for that. Measuring your, I'm going to set that off to the side. Measuring your other cups, you're just going to measure right across the top. And you can do it this way, or you can put it down on your mat and do it this way. As long as you're close, guys, this is going to work. It doesn't have to be exact. You can add 0.10 to whatever if you think you're off, and you should be fine. But this is coming in at 3.375. So, and what did I say? 2.675. So let's go over and put this one in. I'm not going to do this one because you're not going to see a vast difference in the putting it on straight and using this to put your vinyl on. We are going to use this one in our demo so that you can truly see the difference, but I'm just going to use this one as an example on how to put in your measurements. So we're over here, and I'm going to switch over to inch because that's the way that I work. I am going to put in my 3 I've already forgotten. 3.375, 3 3/8. And my bottom diameter, don't you error out on me, it's not supposed to, there we go. My bottom diameter, you can see how that's just barely curving there, is 2, and right, it's 2 5/8. So we're going to say 2.675 for 2 5/8. And then we need the height of the cup. And the height of my cup is 7 5/8. So I'm going to change that to 7.8, nope, 6.675. not 7/8. There we go. 5/8. And then this is my template. Okay. And guys, you want to tab or you want to jump down here with your mouse. If you hit enter, it's going to create your template for you. And you won't be done and you'll have to start and do it again. Well, you just have to come back in here. And I don't even worry with any of this. I leave that margin on there. That's just this area here. It's not going to matter. And here's your glue and your glue angle. And what that does, if you can see that little taper right there, don't worry about it, because if you're not using fabric, if you are using fabric, it's there, or paper, it's there. If you're not, I'm going to show you how to get rid of it when we get into Design Space with it. So then I'm going to select an SVG and simply click Create. And you saw my little arrow jump up here to my Design Space, or I forgot to clear out all of this other stuff. It's right here. And I'm going to rename it once I get it in. So I'm going to go over to Design Space. I'm going to upload. Going to grab it, drag it in, and you're going to maybe get this message. Doesn't really mean anything. Just hit continue. And all it is it has these numbers or something. Something's in there that it doesn't want it to remember. Now I'm going to tag this and name it. This is my Hog Skinny 20 ounce. And I'm going to name it a Tumbler template. Or tag it, tumblers and templates. So now I've named it, tagged it, and I've saved it. Yeah, some of the built cups are darn near completely straight. You're right, Jamie. And I just want to show you that as long as there's a difference, it will work. You can see I've been playing in here. I've got several of them in. So now I can just insert that image, and it comes in just like this. And that's all you need, guys. You don't need... These are just cut lines. You can put that on paper if you're going to cut from paper. You just attach it to a square about that size, and it's going to cut it. Okay, so if you were cutting it out of paper or fabric, you're just going to, just like you do any other cut or score line, you're going to attach it to something. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Because if you do this right here, it's just going to cut wherever it goes on the mat. You need to attach it, and you need to do that. But if we're using this for curving text on a cup, I don't need this taper over here. So I'm just going to go in and find it. There it is. And I'm just going to hide that. And now I don't have the glue lines anymore. So I can take all of this and attach. I don't really, you can attach now or you can attach later. Yeah, you can look, and that's what I'm saying, guys, like those milk cups, they look straight, but you need to measure the top, you need to measure the bottom, because if there is a difference and you're cutting your vinyl straight, then when you put it on the cup, it is going to look crooked. There is nothing you can do to make it look straight. You're going to think that you're off, and you're not off. It's the vinyl that's off. So this is going to correct that. But I just wanted you guys to see how to work this template. We're not going to be using this template because to me this one doesn't have enough curve for the untrained eye to see the difference, whereas a really sharp cup will, one that has a great difference, and we're going to do that with the plastic ones so the untrained eyes can see what we're talking about. So I'm just going to get rid of this one. And I'm going to pull up the, oh no, I closed my, there it is. I thought I closed it, but I didn't. We're going to do one in Google Chrome so you guys can see that, where it goes for your downloads, for those of you having trouble with downloads, if it works for me. So I've got my Dollar Tree plastic cup that I showed you a while ago. And I'm measuring, and it measures at 3 I'm just going to bring it down here where I can see it. It is measuring at 3.75. So I've got my inch, and I'm going to put in 3.75 inches for the top diameter. And I know that says diameter, and you would think that you have to go all the way around the cup, but that's not the way that this thing works. So, and then you have the bottom, which is measuring 2 5/8. So we're going to change that to 2.675. And then our height. And the height of this cup, I am not going to count the lid, and I'll show you that the lip, I'm measuring from the lip down where the vinyl would actually go, guys, because this cup is funky, and you will have cups that are like that, and it's measuring 5.5 inches. So I'm going to take that at 5.5. Just going to leave my glue angles, leave all of that, click on my SVG, and create. And if you look down here, it's waiting for the template maker. I'm going to save that to my desktop. And if you look right here in the bottom of the left screen of this Chrome, there it is, right there. There's your SVG. So you can go and you can get it from your desktop, or you can get it from right here. And I can double click that, and you can see it will open. And these are all your measurements, and this is what, when that error message you get, this is what it's eliminating when you say continue anyway, because this is not supported in Design Space, but the rest of it is. So if you get that error message, just continue. It's not going to hurt anything. So I'm going to move that window out of the way. We're going to come to Design Space, and we're going to upload, and I am going to... I hope I saved that to my desktop. Let me get over here and grab it. Is that it? Nope, there it is. I see it. So I'm going to drag that one in. And I'm going to hit continue, because the uploaded SVG contained the following items that are not supported, which were text elements. That's the text I just showed you. And hit continue. And let me reorganize where I had to move my windows. I can't see you guys. There you are. Alright, so now we have it, and we're going to tag this, and I'm going to tag this my Dollar Tree 16 ounce, I believe it is. Look at the bottom here. Yep, 16 ounce, not 6. And then I'm just going to put template, Tumbler, and save. Yes, perfect for doing lampshades, Deb. Anything that's tapered like this, you can use this truncated cone for it. So we're going to insert that image. And here we are. Now you do have to rotate it. It's going to come in. And all I do to make sure that mine is straight is I get it close to one of my lines down here at the bottom. And I make sure these two corners, I'm not worried about that corner. I'm going to go ahead and hide that line. Just going to hide it. Don't need it. I'm going to make sure that these two corners are even. And they're on the line. That looks pretty darn close. We're going to call that right. So and your rotation is going to be different. This one's at 252.57, but it depends on the size of your cup. So you can't go by how much to rotate it. You're just going to have to eyeball it and make sure that you have that. Now, how do I get several lines of text to curve? Because as we know, it's tapering as it goes down. Doesn't matter if these lines fit or not, guys. There's the bottom line. Here's the top line. I'm just going to duplicate it about 3 or 4 times. Oops. Is that the right line? Yeah. Where's my lines going? Let me delete that. That's not right. Delete. Delete. I want that line right there. Duplicate. That's what we want. Ah. Did I just delete that? I might need more coffee. Here we go. I'm just going to ungroup it. Let's do it that way. Ungroup it again. Not moving anything, just ungrouping. I'm going to duplicate that about 3 or 4 times. However many lines of text you're going to have. Okay? And then I'm going to select the top one, my side, my bottom. Let's just pull these extras out of the way. You just want a few extra lines. And I'm going to attach all of those. I want those attached. Now you have to determine how far apart you want your text. Okay? Basically what I do is I put my first one up here. Let's say I'm doing 2 lines of text. Or 3, it doesn't matter. 4. Whatever it is that you want. Okay? And I'm going to select those lines. As a matter of fact, let's just hide that out of the way. I'm going to select those 4 lines. I'm going to align. I'm going to center them horizontally. I'm going to align and distribute vertically. And I'm going to attach. I'm going to get rid of that one. Don't need that one. Now I'm going to unhide my template. I am going to align and center horizontally. Well, actually, I'm going to center. There we go. So I'm probably going to want my 2 lines of text to be on these 2 lines. So I'm just going to group them because I'm not going to cut any of this. You can ungroup it, you can attach it. This is basically your template for doing vinyl. You don't want to attach that if you're going to be cutting fabric or a wrap. Okay? Is everybody with me so far? Have I lost anybody? Do I need to repeat anything or go over anything again? This is your template for your vinyl. So I'm going to get my text. And I want it to say Merry Christmas. And of course we can't curve dual lines. So we're going to, first I'm going to get my font. What's a good font? What do we want to use? Let's use something kind of plain that we know needs to look straight. Let's go to Cricut. Let's do a Cricut font. Since I have so many. That looks cute. So now I'm going to advance and I'm going to ungroup to lines. Actually, no, I'm not. You could do this either way. I like to size mine together in height. Pretty darn close. There we go. I kind of like that better. Not too big. So now I'm going to advance ungroup to lines. Now you can see I'm going to be going on these 2 lines. If you're going down there, you see how straight across Christmas is, but our lines are dropping off. There's where your issue comes in and it not looking straight. The Mary, I really don't need to do anything with. It's small enough and you can see that it's sitting on the lines. It might need a little push. Not much. So there's that one. I forgot to align. Center it horizontally. You want it centered. Make sure it's touching your line here and here. It's perfect. Then you're going to come in with the Christmas. And it's going to need a little bit more curving because it's coming in at a different spot of the cup. And I'm going to align that and center it horizontally. And I want to make sure that I'm touching, and I am. So now I can hide my template. Don't need it anymore. I can select my text, and I'm just going to weld. I like to weld just in case, it's a habit for me, in case anything is touching. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to get that same text. I'm going to align it, center. Let's size it down so that we're not cheating. It's pretty close. That looks pretty close. It's pretty close in height. And now we're going to cut these two. So in order to cut it, and I've seen a lot of people asking about this, when they attach, it disappears. Well, when you're using a dark color, yeah, it's going to disappear because they're going to come in at the same color. Okay? So I'm going to use white just so you guys can see it. Arrange, send that to the back. I don't need it to be that large. I'm going to line it center. I'm going to duplicate my square. Send it to the back. I'm going to align center. Okay, so when I attach, it's going to change the same color to the same color of the bottom color. The bottom color is white. So when I attach, it all turns white. But with the white, you can see your cut lines. If your back color is that dark gray or it's black and you attach, you're not going to see anything. It looks like a black blob, but the cut lines are there. And I can show you when I change this to white that they're there. So when you're attaching on a dark color, your cut lines are not disappearing. They're there. You just can't see them. But the Cricut cannot see what color vinyl you have on the mat. So if you're cutting them all the same color, you don't need it to be a dark. You can make it white so that you can see, or any light color in here, so that you can see your cut lines. So we're going to go over and make this. Yeah, that's it, Jamie. Thank you. So we're going to go over and cut these. And guys, I put that square on there because that's a weeding box and it's easier to weed for me like that. Let's come over and put our vinyl onto the mat. This is the cup that we did. And when I measured this, guys, I measured it from this lip right here. I did not count this in my height because there's a lip there. And I don't want my vinyl running into that. So I'm going to ignore that part of the cup when I put this on. And I'm just using a piece of 651 here. That's what I grabbed this morning. It was on the top. I'm going to load that into the mat. To the maker. Blah, blah. I can't talk this morning. I still need coffee. I have coffee. So let's hit continue. There, it didn't want to take my continue. There it goes. USB. Material. Ah! It kicked my man out. It can't read my materials list. I got the warning again. Continue. Let's just start over. It's being sluggish this morning. Why am I putting it in the white box, Max? I'm about to show you. Hi, Debbie. It's to help with weeding so I don't waste all of my vinyl. I just want regular vinyl, so I'm selecting vinyl. My fine point blade, let's load that mat. And we're going to cut. So, another aid, and you guys can do this. I have a couple of these. Miss Sue even sent me one. You can make these out of PVC, and my UPS is about to ring the doorbell. FedEx. Yeah, FedEx. And so my dogs may go off, y'all. I apologize. But you can make these with a couple of little cross pieces of PVC, some end caps, or you can use the rubber caps, whatever you want to use, and a couple of pieces. Really inexpensive to make these. But that's going to hold your cup, keep it from rolling around so that you can put your vinyl on it. Max, I do. When I'm doing vinyl, I put a square behind whatever my image or whatever pieces that I'm cutting, just so it cuts. And I'm about to show you as soon as this finishes cutting what that does. And it's going to clear it up for you. Yeah, that means my mats probably came, and I'm in desperate need of mats, I think. After those 12 days of Christmas, it was bad. So how did everybody get your makers? Did you get your tooltips? Explore users, did you get your blades and mats? That sale is going to end in 3 days, guys. Make sure that you get that. If you have access, you're going to get those mats for like, I think it was $60, somewhere around in there. I got 30 mats. It ended up being $2.11 a mat for the green mats. And I did not price out the blue mats, but you get 15 blue mats, and they come out, what is it, around $5, Jamie? I didn't figure it. So you guys don't forget to get those. There are links in the description below the video for everything. Cricut, vinyl. I'm using 651 Oracle today from Brilliant Vinyl. And I will be right back. I forgot my transfer tape. I knew I forgot something. You have to go out there. You can't be in here. Sorry about that. You too. Go. Out, out, out. Thank you. My puppies came in. Okay, it's cut. I cannot find my roll of blue grit or my roll of Cricut transfer tape. So, just so you could see, I'm going to be using high-tack, and I hope that I don't have a problem with it. You can see that I have my square weeding box cut around these, I hope. You can see it there. And it's just going to help me when I go to weed. And you can see that when I lift this back, I'm just peeling back the square and leaving, oops, I lost a couple letters, didn't I? C's always do that. There we go. Got an S giving me a problem. It's that little piece right there. You can loosen those up before you peel and not have that issue. What is going on there? I'll have to straighten that up. I didn't roll it, that's why left it on my mat. So now I'm almost weeded. I'm going to straighten that little booger up. And it just helps weeding. This is the one that we did not curve. And then we have the one here that we did curve. But this is what a weeding box basically does. See if I can eliminate that issue here by picking up all those little pieces on the inside of my letters before I start. If you roll it, it will kind of break those as well. My E still didn't want to stay down. There we go. Just kind of rock it and wiggle it. Pull right out of there. And so now we have weeded everything. I am just catching up on chat here. Okay, thank you, Jamie, on that blue. I thought it was about $6, but I wasn't sure. If you have the access and you have your discount. If you don't have access, I think it's about $8 a mat, something like that. I can't remember. I'm just straightening up my transfer tape here, guys, so that it's pretty for you guys. I'm gonna say 2.5 inches. Y'all are funny. So, I am using red grit. I don't recommend you use red grit with 651. You don't really need it. I'm going to detack this slightly on a paper towel. And we're going to start with this one that is straight. I can get rid of my mat now. Just peel this back. In case anybody's wondering, this is number 312 Burgundy, which I wrote on the back. Just give it a little bit of a rub. And then I'm going to peel my paper from my tape, not my tape from my paper. Just wiggle it. And you saw that I just did some finger pressure. That's all you need. You don't need to burnish it into the bottom of the table. Okay? That's where you have problems with it not wanting to release and things like that. And before I go any further, I need to clean that with alcohol. You want to make sure that it sticks well. I'm just going to clean that cup off. I have Distress ink somewhere. And let that dry for a second. I have to stand up to do this, guys. And then I'm going to come down about an inch from the bottom because that's where I had set this to cut for my templates. And I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to go over to this side, and then I'm going to come around. And again, I'm just doing fingertip pressure. Hopefully that'll go back into focus for you guys. And then I'm just going to peel my tape flat against itself. Okay? You don't want to pick up and pull up on your tapes. That's going to bring the letters back with it. You're just going to roll it with your fingers and remove the tape. And of course, if you use the right tape, like medium grid or Cricut gray grid, you're not going to have to fight it as hard as I'm fighting this. Now, you see that? See how it looks crooked, like it's going uphill? But you saw me put that on perfectly straight. But it looks like it's going uphill over here. Let's see if I can. There we go. See how it looks uphill? It's really noticeable when you're looking at the whole cup. Okay, looks uphill over here too, coming in at an angle. So we're going to fix that. Here's the one that we curved using that truncated cone template. I'm just going to reuse this piece of tape and hope it doesn't give me a problem. Flip it over. I might have to coax a couple of pieces by pushing them back down. I could have cut this off and not had as much vinyl to fight, but don't you move. You just stay right there. I got it. Let me lay my S back down. That's why I like to use fresh transfer tape, and I should have, but I didn't. There we go. Enough. And let's bring cup number 2 back in here. And we are going to do the same method. Right about the same spot. Oops, better clean it. right about there. Press down in the center. I'm going to work my way over. And make sure that my little S isn't giving me a problem. There we go. Just finger pressure. Again, just rubbing it. And then I'm just going to peel back my tape. And now look at the difference. Let's see. Let's take the top off. See the difference? Can you guys tell? Yes, Max, you can buy those cup holders, but they're going to charge you like 20 bucks for them. You don't need any glue. You don't need anything. All you do is go and buy the fittings. They're like 30 cents a piece, and pop them together. You just pop them together. That's it. But you can see the difference where this one is going uphill and this one isn't. And all we did was that slight little bit of curve to fit our cup. That's the only thing we did different. So you're not crazy when you think, I know I put that on there straight, but it doesn't look straight. You did put it on straight. It's the cup that's off. Okay, so that's how you make this one look straight, but it's actually curved. And this will work with wording on your round ornaments, guys, but you're not going to be able to put your measurements in that way. You're just going to have to know that you need to go in and give your words a slight curve for the round ornament. Yes, mine was priceless. I got one from Sue, and I had one my husband had made me as well, because I needed more than one. But I can't get these off of there because they're on there now. But this is a 1/2-inch stick. You can cut that with a hacksaw, but they do sell like 12-inch sticks as well at my Lowe's and Home Depot anyway. They sell the short sticks. But that's all you need. It's 4 elbows. If anybody wants to write this down, 4 elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4 elbows. 2 sticks, the length that you want. That's totally up to you. Okay? And then you need 2 cross pieces. Or X pieces, cross pieces, whatever you want to call them. And then you need 4 feet. That's it. And if you want, you can use pool noodle. My husband had this in the garage. This is, I think, for condensation lines. I think that's what it's for. Pool noodle keeps it a little tighter, but you can see it works perfectly fine. Yep, my other one's priceless because Sue made that one for me. She sent it out to me. Yeah, there's a huge difference, and a lot of people just don't realize what that difference is. And there are templates out there that you can just punch your numbers in and it does everything for you, instead of you having to do this. But you're limited on your sizes. With this template maker, it doesn't matter what size your cup is, as long as there's a difference in the top diameter and the bottom diameter. This will work. And you will have it perfect every time. You won't have to guesstimate it, or this template is close, I'll use it. You don't have to do that. You can make your template fit your cups all the time, 100%. You can watch it back on playback, Roxanne. It'll be ready. Every live is always sent on playback, and I leave them up so that you guys can refer back to them at any time. They take about an hour to load after we end the video. Unless YouTube's being slow, and then it can take a little longer. Who watching is not subscribed? If you're not subscribed, make sure you click on that subscribe button. See your name in lights. Just like that. Make sure you subscribe, and you can only see that if you're attending the live. It doesn't happen if you're not joining us. You need that template. The template maker is right here, Miss Sheila. Make sure you guys save that. There are several templates in there. They have several different ones. She has some for boxes, everything. Yes, I am using an infusible ink coaster. I am. This is the one where I drew on with my infusible ink pen onto an infusible ink transfer and then made them. So does anybody have any questions on using the trunicated cone? Again, you can use it for wraps. You're just going to have to take and finagle the top because you need that measurement down just a little bit. And you could probably, guys, thinking about it, see, my brain never stops. Let's go back over to the monitor. Thinking about that, if you're doing, oh, the wheels are turning. Does anybody want, I'm going to save this just in case somebody wants it. Template tutorial. This is design number 163851983 if anybody wants it. So you can open that up and play along. If you're doing a koozie, did I unhide everything? If you're doing a koozie, you would leave your glue lines on. Let me detach these lines. Why don't we detach everything? Get rid of the top line. Get rid of the bottom line. Get rid of that line and that line. So for the same cup, is everybody following me? Oh, I didn't want to move that. I needed it to stay right where it was at. I just needed to move it up. Actually, I got that one as a guide, so I know where that one's at. And shorten it. Boom. Shorten that one. That should work. I would do a test cut on paper, but technically that should work. That glue tab may be off a little bit, but you should be able to. Because I'm not unlocking it, so I'm not skewing it. That should do it. You should be able to do it that way. You just have to reline these ends up and play with them till they meet like they're supposed to. But that should do it. That should make a coffee wrap for this cup that we just put Merry Christmas on. So you've got two different ways of doing it now. And of course you would have to come in and attach it all. And make sure you line that up as well. Ta-da! Do I use the blue mats very much? I do like the blue mats for vinyl and HTV. They are wonderful mats. I love them. That being said, guys, you just don't, you don't know how much paper I cut when I do files and stuff for you guys to make sure that things fit and that they're properly aligning and they go together right. Because I mean, if it's really off, I will trash it in a minute and recut. So that being said, blue mats do not last long enough for me for cardstock, because some days I can cut 30 or 40 mats for one project to make sure it's right. Not so much on cards, but like on boxes, pop-up cards, interactive cards. I cut a lot to make sure that they work right. So that's why you don't see me using a lot of blue mats. I use a ton of green mats. I use tons of green mats. So both are excellent deals, but 15 blue mats will not last me 3 weeks. They just won't. I can wash them and get a little bit more use out of them just by rinsing them with warm water and letting them air dry. But if, like on the 12 days of Christmas, I didn't have time for that. I barely had time to get 2 files and two videos out every day. So I went through some mats, and I still have them. I just need to wash them. So now I have like 15 or 20 mats that I need to wash and air dry, and right now I just don't have the time or the space to do it. So they're sitting off to the side until I have some free time. So that's why a lot of times you'll see me using a new mat. It's because I don't have time to go and wash the other mat and clean it. Because I do literally spend 16 hours a day at the PC or designing. When I'm running errands, I have my iPad Pro with me and my phone so that I can answer questions, and I rarely take time off, and the girls will tell you that. I rarely. I'm almost always here. And it's just me. I don't have anybody, I don't have an assistant or anybody that can go and do all those errands or wash anything or cut for me. I have to do it all. All my editing and everything. So does anybody have any other Design Space questions? I know that you guys have other videos to watch today. You got lives. I think Miss Melody is live here now, probably. And I don't know who else might be live now. As always, I appreciate you moderators. Thank you supporters. Thank you everybody who's watching. Please give a thumbs up on the video. Like and share. Make sure that you... if you feel like it, supporting the template maker on Ko-fi. She has lots of different designs. You can go to her homepage and she has a lot of different templates that you can use, from envelopes to boxes and bags and different shapes. You can make your own templates for lots of things by using her templates. And her little coffee cup is right there on the left. where would I go to practice and tutorials for using Cricut Design Space? Roxanne, I have videos set up that you can play along with. If you go to my YouTube channel and go to the playlist, it's the Learning Design Space playlist. So all you have to do is go to my channel and click on the playlist, and you will see all of my videos are there, but there is a specific playlist for boxes, for cards, for Learning Design Space, for vinyl, for iron-on. I've sorted it all out into playlists for you guys. I have to go back and click on add to playlist the last couple of videos, but for the most part, everything is there. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm not going to take up any more of your Saturday morning. I will catch you Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the next live. You have a wonderful day, and I promise I'll have a file for you guys on Monday. Instead of just a tutorial, you will have a file. So I'll be popping something out there. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, Ko-fi supporters. I appreciate you all.